What's up, everybody? Tommy D here. Um, Today we're going to talk about Amber. And anybody watching this video probably knows who Amber is. And for ones that don't, I'm going to play a couple clips from three different content creators who have done interviews with Amber. Amber is a girl who is caught up on the streets of Kensington. She's been through many, many trials and tribulations, ups and downs. She's been helped by Frank, as well as Maul, as well as me, as well as a bunch of other content creators and agencies and outreach groups out in Kensington. There's a lot of people that know who Amber is, and Amber does have support. She also has a family, and right now we're trying to figure out whether or not she might be pregnant. Now, there's a lot of girls that get pregnant on the streets of Kensington. And trust me, not all of them go home and do the right thing. A lot of them wind up using through their pregnancy. And then, whether or not the baby is born, the baby is usually born addicted and it has to be weaned off the drugs. So, that happens a lot. I know a lot of girls that's happened to. Let's get into one of these interviews and see what Amber's been up to.
To a methadone clinic.
Yeah.
I got on it, but I just from getting high,
Right.
missing so many days at the clinic, they kicked me off. So
Yo,
She was talking about how she went on that clinic, right? Ethan Gerard's a well-known methadone clinic in Philadelphia. A lot of people go to it. I was there at one time, short time period in my life as well. Um, they will work with you if you're serious about getting clean. Um, in the times when I used to use drugs, I missed doses of methadone here and there. I always made it a point to try to get back to the clinic though, because once you get kicked off, like once they give you that detox, and it's usually like a 21-day detox. Sometimes it could be a little bit longer. Um, Sometimes it could be shorter, depending on what the reason is you get kicked off the clinic. But for missing doses, might have been like a 21-day detox. But once you're off, you're off, and you have that tolerance of the methadone you've been taking. So now you gotta take care of that because you're gonna be sick from that methadone sickness. A lot of to be honest with you guys, the fentanyl and the heroin and the opiates that are down in Kensington are short acting opiates. Methadone is a very long acting opiate. It's way more harder to actually kick than say fentanyl. It's just fentanyl is way, way, way more dangerous and will take your soul and your life way quicker. It's way more toxic.
people's going around saying that you're pregnant now.
I don't, because I
Right.
didn't take no test.
Oh, you didn't take the test.
Not yet, but some people are saying that.
Oh, your stomach, right?
My liver, because I have Hep C, so I'm not taking the medication. So some people are saying my liver's inflamed,
Right.
but I don't think a liver can make your stomach that big.
I feel.
The Hep C she just mentioned, she doesn't know if she's pregnant right now. She didn't take a test. Um, and her Hep C, she's worried about her liver being inflamed. Well, I really hope that's not the case. I had Hep C myself. Hep C is common. Hepatitis C is a very common disease. I'm sorry, virus that people catch while sharing needles, having unprotected sex, stuff like that, and it's very, very prevalent in the drug community, especially down in Kensington. That's why they give out all those needles. Everybody always wonders why they give out needles, they give out tourniquets, they give out cottons, they give out cookers. The main reason for all of this is because they want people to be clean when they use. They don't want people to get infections. They don't want people to get hepatitis C or HIV or any type of other diseases. It's a harm reduction measure. Whether it has its pros or cons, because you see these things all over the streets of Kensington, and it almost enables the drug use in a way, because a lot of times when I was down there, I was able to get these needles and sell them on the street to be able to pay for my dope. So let me know in the comment section what you guys think about that stuff. Harm reduction, the needle exchange program, and Amber being pregnant and whether or not she may or may not be pregnant. As far as me with Hep C, guys, my liver was never able to get that bad to where I could think it might be inflamed. And from the coaching of a couple really, really good friends, shout out to all the good friends I met here. I went during the pandemic and did the hepatitis C treatment. It's called Maverick, and it's only an 8-week program where you take a pill where you barely have any side effects at all. And it takes your virus away completely, and you're supposedly cured of hepatitis C. I just wanted to pass that information along because the old treatment was interferon, and that was very, very painful. A lot of times people couldn't work. They got nauseous. They had to take injections. It was a big ordeal. All right, let's get back into this.
So that's the only guy that you do unprotected with, right?
Yeah.
What's going on with you, Am? How you able to survive? Like, you still out here. I'm actually happy to see you because some females we interviewed went missing. We don't know where they are at.
Well, I heard some girls were found in a factory.
Yeah.
In the meat factory or whatever. But I don't know. I'm just hoping to get out off these streets before winter comes.
Okay.
Because I can't do another winter out here.
Right.
So I plan on getting in somewhere before that.
Feeding yourself though, Amber?
Not really.
Yeah. Not really?
I need to.
You gotta start eating, Am.
I know.
We probably do a giveaway real soon again.
Yeah.
But we gonna talk offline. We're gonna talk about that offline, Am.
All right, so I just wanted to comment on something real quick again in this video where he's asking her if she's eating and she's saying no. Well, and you got to eat. Well, look, I'm going to keep it real for you guys. When you're doing these drugs, okay? Amber most likely, from what I can gather and from what I used to do and from what most of the people do out there, is most likely smoking crack and shooting fentanyl with xylazine in it. So the crack automatically takes out your appetite. You're not going to be hungry. You're not going to want to eat. You're not going to want to look at food. Okay. And you live off that crack. You chase that crack high. You use the fentanyl and the xylazine to come down to not think about it. A lot of times when you're on the dope is when you eat, but you don't always eat. And if you have money and you need drugs, it's always going to go to the drug before it goes to the food. It's the way our brains are wired and programmed. It's telling us that we need drugs instead of food. Regular people that aren't addicted, they can't understand this. When I'm hungry, I eat. Well, when I'm hungry and I have an addiction, my addiction will always, always come first. Always. You don't want to eat when you're using drugs in Kensington. You're just chasing. You're chasing and you're chasing. And from what I can gather, the way Amber looks and the way she's talking in this interview, and in most of the interviews that we watch, you know what I mean? Like, she is in a daze. And she may have given up on herself in a way. And she needs to find that will to want to live a different way. And to not rely on the drugs. I think she's so used to relying on the drugs. And in our addictions, it's hard to get out of that habit. It usually takes something drastic, like a huge bottom. And I'd hate to see something horrible happen to her. But it might happen because we don't stop. Ever. Ever.
Am, you gotta get checked out to see if you're pregnant or not, though. And like
Yeah,
you told me that you're not sure, you don't know.
I'm going to the doctors.
So Amber, if you do, if the results come back that you are pregnant, would you stop all of this or would you continue?
I would definitely go to Jefferson Hospital and get stabilized back on methadone.
Right.
Stay as long as I can in there. before the withdrawal is done.
Right. And I just want to let you know, I don't know if you've been, you've seen your previous video. A lot of people love you, Amber.
Yeah,
A lot of people love you.
it's kind of crazy because I had a couple
We
people
all love you.
drive actually down
We want
here
you to get
from
help.
like New York, Oregon, and just to come see me.
Just to come see you. Do you have any like Cash App? I know you homeless right now, but do you have any type of Cash App or email or anything for
No.
the people to reach out? No.
I
Yeah.
can't tell if she's pregnant right there. Let me know in the comments if you guys
Amber,
can.
right up out these streets,
I know.
And first and foremost, I just want to say I'm happy that I was able to see a familiar face, knowing that you still out here alive. You still could walk. You could still,
Yeah.
because it's rough out here and it's scary out here, and a lot
It
of
is.
females are going missing. People overdosing and dying. Maybe it's a better cause for you to get out these streets, Amber. I know you're getting a lot of chances.
I just need to get it right this time. I gotta get away from like Philadelphia, like somewhere like a couple hours away from
Right.
here.
Yeah. Since the last time we talked to you, any crazy thing out here?
Uh,
All right, guys. I want to ask in the comment section real quick. How many of you guys think that if Amber, right, goes to detox or whatever, maybe gets on methadone or Suboxone, or maybe just does a really long detox or whatever, Vivitrol, whatever it is that she does, right? And she winds up getting out of Philadelphia, maybe going to another state or another town. How many of you guys think that she would stay sober? I would love to know in the comment section or in the chat. You know, that doesn't always work, guys. I've tried that before. You take you wherever you go. And if she's not dead set on not using anymore and not living the way she's living right here, then she's going to continue to stay on those streets, and she's going to continue to get high. And I'm going to be honest with you, and this is the last part that I'm going to say about this. And maybe I am feeding into it by doing a video on her, but I'm just doing it because I genuinely care about her. And it actually helps me to do this, if you can understand that. Because I don't want to be like that anymore, ever again. And I'm hoping that somebody else can hear these words coming out of my mouth and see what she looks like and the things that she's going through, and maybe not ever want to use. You know what I mean? But I'm just curious how many of you guys think that she would, because you have to be dead set on not using anymore. And like I said, I'm on methadone and I smoke weed, and that was how I was able to get straight just for today. And in another video, I'm going to go into that whole process. Definitely.
yeah, they do. A lot of these guys out here don't like picking up pregnant girls.
Yeah.
So, I mean, some of them don't believe me when I say, like, I don't know yet. So.
How do you feel after them dates, Amber? Like, do you cry? Do you?
No, I just go do what I always do. I go get high, and then I just do the same thing over and over again.
So it don't bother you?
I knew she was going to say that. Because that's how they do it. That's how they do it. You're going to use. You're going to use, and you're going to numb your pain. And you're not going to feel that pain. And you're not going to think about what you just did to get that money when you're high. And these are the things that you got to remember once you do finally stop. Because I don't ever want to live on the streets again in a tent that looks like that, right behind her. So no, she doesn't go and cry. She might cry when she sobers up and she's sick, because that stuff is up there. Don't get it twisted. That stuff is up there, and she can still remember, and she will remember. And these are things that she's going to have to deal with when she gets sober, like every other person down there. The things that we do in our addiction stay with us when we're sober, and we have to learn to live with them.
You.
No, I wouldn't say.
How many strangers you think you sleep with a day?
I get like throughout the whole day and night, like probably like 20 dates
20 dates? 20
a
dates?
day.
20 dates a day?
But that's like combining morning, afternoon, and night.
Wow, 20
Wow,
dates a day.
20 dates a day.
That's crazy.
I'll stay out all night.
And just so you guys know, that's easy to get. 20 dates. I've seen girls that do probably double that. I'm talking hustling fast. So, morning, noon, night, all night long, 24 hours. Because you're talking 10 minutes, 15 minutes per date. And there's guys going up and down the Ave on a regular basis looking for these girls. That's why it's so much harder for these girls a lot of times, especially with the guys, because there's not a lot of guys that prostitute in Kensington. Most of the guys in Kensington are trapping on the blocks, looking out on the blocks. They're boosting, they're panhandling, they're taking people to cop, they're doing stuff like that. The girls, almost all of them do dates. And if a girl comes down there and says that she's not going to do a date, she usually won't. But until it gets bad enough, and then she will. You know what I'm saying? And I've had friends that said they would never, ever, ever until I actually caught them one day. So all of their I nevers eventually do come true.
And
You don't think that's like a lot of wear and tear on your body?
yeah, I don't feel tired.
You don't feel tired? You ever had somebody pretend to be a date and then they didn't want nothing from you, they just want you to have help? Like
I had guys like pick me up that just wanted to like give me and like make sure I get something to eat, and they didn't want nothing. They would just give me a couple dollars, take me to like a drive-through like to get food, and that's it.
You don't ever feel like you being taken advantage of though by the guys that is paying for your services?
I mean, if they're being cheap, I do.
If they're being what?
Cheap? I'd be like, I think I'm taking advantage of someone because you're getting more out of the girl than we are out of you.
Whether or not Amber is pregnant or not, right? Well, if she is pregnant, I have some hope for her. Because if she has that baby, she decides to keep that baby could be a vessel that takes her to God and allows her to get sober. Because I have a very friend that I used to run around with on Kensington who was just as bad as Amber. And she got pregnant by one of her Johns. And she had the baby. And she went to a mommy and me program and raised the baby, had the baby. The baby was born addicted, but got healthy. And she got sober and moved out of Kensington, rekindled her relationship with her sister, raises her son, and hasn't been in Kensington in 3 years. And I'm proud of her because she was wild. She was wild. The people that I ran around with in Kensington were wild. And, Amber, she has her whole life ahead of her. And if she's pregnant, her and that baby can start a whole new life together. And that baby could be a motivation. I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but it's an idea. Hopefully, it's not the Hep C, because if it is and it's inflamed, that's a bad sign. So I'm praying for Amber. Let's all pray for Amber and everybody else in Kensington. And I thank God that He gave me another day sober to be here with my boys and my family. That I worked a whole day today. I was able to make a good paycheck. I was able to come home and eat with my kids, put my boy to bed, and come on here and have a nice little discussion with you guys. If you guys got anything out of this, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that like button. Leave me a comment and let me know what you guys think about the first question I asked. If Amber leaves Philadelphia, do you think that will be what it takes to get her clean? Do you think Amber's pregnant? And do you think she has what it takes to climb out of Kensington? This is Tommy D signing off. I hope you guys have a great night. Salute.